90% of top performers have high emotional intelligence. People with high emotional intelligence earn $29,000 more annually than those with low emotional intelligence. And the good news is that unlike IQ, emotional intelligence can be developed. Hello, I'm Atya Nusrat, an educationist, human skill developer, and coach. Psychologist Daniel Goleman explains that emotional intelligence has five core elements: self awareness, self regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Today, we will learn ways to develop emotional intelligence and become part of the top 90% of performers. Self awareness is a basic understanding of how we feel and why we feel that way. The more we are aware of our feeling, that easier they are to manage and dictate how we might respond to others. Research shows that naming emotions helps reduce their intensity. Instead of saying, I'm stressed, say, I feel overwhelmed because I have too many tasks. It brings more clarity about what and why are you feeling. Be mindful of your strength, weaknesses, thoughts, and emotions. Identify your triggers to help manage your own emotions. At the end of the day, write down 3 emotions you felt during the day and why. This builds emotional awareness. Consider how your actions affect those around you. Use positive self talk. Develop a growth mindset. The next element of emotional intelligence is self regulation. Imagine a driver cuts you off in traffic. Do you honk aggressively and shout? Or take a deep breath and let it go? I hope you do the second one. Let's learn few tips on how to self-regulate. Be attentive to your thoughts and feelings. Learn to accept your emotions and become more emotionally resilient. Know that there is always a choice on how you respond. Count to 5 before responding in emotionally charged situation. Instead of thinking, this is unfair, shift to, what can I learn from this? Practice deep breathing. Try the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. People with high emotional intelligence pause before reacting. They understand that emotions are temporary, but actions have consequences. You may think that what to do in a situation where you cannot practice breathing exercise. For example, if a coworker criticizes your work, instead of snapping back, pause and say, can you explain what you mean? The third element is motivation. Emotionally intelligent people use emotions as fuels, not roadblocks. Connect your goals to something meaningful. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Imagine the positive outcome of achieving your goals. Dopamine is released in the brain when you engage in a pleasurable activity, achieve a goal, or anticipate a reward. Dopamine boosts motivation. That's why it's important to acknowledge your progress. For example, if you are struggling to finish a project, remind yourself of the bigger picture, how it aligns with your values or career growth. This will boost the dopamine release, which will motivate you more. Fourth element of emotional intelligence is empathy. Empathy helps build deeper relationships and navigate conflicts. Let's explore some techniques for developing empathy towards others. Start listening to others more without interrupting. Focus fully on the speaker. Summarize what they say before responding. Put yourself in someone else's shoes, especially during a disagreement. Ask yourself, how would I feel in their situation? Pay attention to tone, body language, and facial expression. For example, if a friend seems withdrawn, instead of assuming they're rude, ask, hey, you seem a bit off today. Is everything okay? The fifth element of emotional intelligence is social skill. Good social skills build a strong network, leadership, and influence. Show interest in other people, enhance verbal and non-verbal communication skills. Practice confident eye contact. Ask open-ended questions in conversations. Create a collection of engaging icebreaker questions to initiate conversations. Learn conflict resolution. Using I statement instead of you statement help express feelings without blaming or accusing the other person. This approach reduces defensiveness and promote open constructive dialogue. For example, instead of saying, you never listen to me, say, I feel unheard when my opinions are not considered. Express your feelings without attacking. By focusing on your own emotions and experiences, You encourage the other person to understand your perspective rather than react negatively. Connect with others. Find common grounds and show genuine interest in others. For example, if you are in a networking event, instead of standing awkwardly, start with, "Hey, what brought you here today?" Now, does it make sense why people with high emotional intelligence earn $29,000 more annually than those with low emotional intelligence? Because emotional intelligence helps you build a strong relationship, make better decisions under pressure, stay calm and focus in stressful situations, lead effectively and influence others. Now tell me in comment section, which of these strategies will you start practicing today? If you want to build your emotional intelligence, practice mindfulness. Pause before responding. Develop empathy. Emotional intelligence is a skill you can train like a muscle. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's grow together.